Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're having a brilliant morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it might be. Thank you so much for clicking on the video and stopping on by. We're giving The Clash a little bit of a look. We're going to take this track, Complete Control, for a listen, for a spin. Originally released as a 7-inch single and now featured on their US release of their debut album, The Clash, which was released in 79. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and sponsored by Jonathan. Jonathan, thank you so much for the recommendation. Thank you for the support as well. I was pulling up the album and I saw that, at least on Spotify, it wasn't giving me this track. I had to find it on what I believe is going to be a greatest hits compilation of sorts, because I found that this track apparently wasn't originally, it wasn't originally on the album, and they added it back on the album on another release, on the US release, I believe it was. Yeah, they added it on the US release, which Spotify is not giving me the US release. It gives me the original release. So that's where you're going to see it on a Hits album cover. Just a little bit of context. Let's dive into it. Here we go. Just so you know. Love that bass line. Hey. That's catchy. Really fantastic guitar work throughout this whole track. That's a hit. That's 100% a hit. What I've enjoyed about The Clash, from of course what we've listened to of London Calling and such, and this track throwing it in there, is they of course are punk. They have that attitude. They have the grind. They have the appearance. They have the sound. But they add something else to it. There's just another aspect to it that really makes them, like, to me, like more unique and kind of stand out. There's a melody. There's a different kind of sense of musicality to them. The guitar, for example, there that Mick is playing, like at the very end, that melody, that lead that he comes out with is just satisfying to listen to. It kind of provides a certain kind of rock elegance to this track, right? Where, of course, punk is grimy and angry and it has a message, right? But it just lifts it a certain way that I really enjoy. It just gives it a different side. The bass playing is always a standout here. Paul Simonon is just adding that nice melody in the back and making it palpable. Not just doubling up with the guitar. The bass isn't just there to be a backbone for the guitar and push it up. No, let the bass player be his own thing. He doesn't have to be the quiet man in the corner. Let him stand in the spotlight, or at least adjacent to it. And I think that Paul has always done a great job of that in the band, and here is nonetheless no different. Even as Strummer's going off and the drums are going off and everything is, punk attitude. But then the sophistication from the bass playing is there to just provide a different sort of balance, a different sort of counterweight to that once again, I think lifts it. And the band is full of that, being lifted in different ways from, like I said, London Calling, which is just a smorgasbord of different sounds and genres and explorations. And in this track, also, it's only 3 minutes long, but you're also getting a lot of different things. You get a lot of anthemic lyrics. You get the kind of gang vocals there that are outcrying with the ending with the control part. It's catchy. 2 great guitar moments in here. Nice drums. Just got a little of everything. It's the complete package. Let's look at these lyrics here. They said release remote control, but we didn't want it on the label. They said fly to Amsterdam. The people laughed, but the press went mad. Oh, someone's really smart. Oh, complete control. Yeah, that's a laugh. On the last tour, my mates, they couldn't get in. I'd open up the back door, but they'd get run out again. And at every hotel, we was met by the law. Come for the party, come to make sure. I mean, this seems to me extremely self-referential, and they're talking about themselves. They didn't want it on the label, so I'm imagining it's a song. Probably both of these are songs that weren't allowed on the album, or maybe they made them and they didn't like the album. I'm sorry, the song title is called complete control because the band wants complete control of their music and how they approach things. Naturally, who wouldn't? And I'm seeing that there's a little bit of a conflict probably between label and band. And of course, the band is just trying to get their friends in, right? Oh, have we done something wrong? Oh, complete control, even over this song. Now that is absolutely hilarious. Fourth wall breaking, even this song, we don't have complete control. You're my guitar hero. They said we'd be artistically free when we signed that bit of paper. They meant let's make lots of money and worry about it later. There you go. This is the central message and theme behind the track. Oh, I'll never understand. Complete control. Let me see your other hand. Like the label's giving with one hand, but what's behind their back? Are they crossing their fingers, kind of holding themselves to a lie? What are they taking back? I don't trust you. Why should you trust me? All over the news, spread fast. They're dirty. They're filthy. They ain't gonna last. This is Joe Public speaking. CON control. I'm controlled in the body. I'm controlled in the mind. This is the punk rockers. We're controlled in the price of the hardest drugs we can find. There's control in every aspect. From the public speaking, Joe Public, that's their personification of the public, being controlled. And even the punk rockers who, of course, are against control. But still, some sort of control is enacted on them. Parent control. We got to work it up and bring it up and fight it and write it. That means you. I kick it, I fight it, I get it out, write it. I got to kick it. Got to get it out there one way or another and maintain control of yourself and your music, your artistry, and fight against the powers that be. The song is often cited as one of punk's greatest singles and a fiery polemic on the record company's managers and the state of punk itself. The motivation for the song being the band's label, CBS Records, releasing remote control without asking them. Well, of course, that was, as we mentioned, that was what was quoted right here. Which infuriated the group. Stereogum described it as this extraordinary airing of grievances, a desperately catchy cataloging of the many ills visited upon a young band experiencing its first forays into corporate culture. The song also refers to managers of the time who sought to control their groups. Bernie Rhodes of The Clash, Malcolm McLaren of Sex Pistols. The song's title is derived from this theme. Bernie Rhodes had arranged a band meeting at the Ship, a pub in Wardour Street, where he had wanted complete control. He said he wanted complete control. I came out of the pub with Paul collapsing on the pavement in hysterics over those words. They said, yeah, that's not happening. The track also refers to the band's run-ins with police, their practice of letting fans into gigs through the back door. Yeah, the label is like, you're defeating the purpose. We got to make money. Like, don't let people in through the back door. And a punk idealism seemingly crushed by the corporate reality they had become part of, and the betrayal and anger they felt being, fighting against the machine. Some would say raging against it, and then realizing, brother, you're just another cog. The message was scorned by some critics as naive on the part of the band. The DJ John Peel was one of those, suggesting that the group must have realized CBS were not a foundation of the arts. While others were strong in support of the single. That's kind of funny. That's really funny. During the tracking session, some Clash and Perry biographies claim Perry blew out a studio mixing board attempting to get a deep bass sound. That's really funny. Complete Control reached number 28 on the singles chart, making it the first Clash's top 30 release. Immediately became one of their most popular songs. And listeners to The John Peel Show voted Complete Control number 2. There you go. CBS reissued a single. Now, look at them. Reanimating it, bringing it back. That's really good. And here's your chart information, 28 on the UK singles chart. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the track. Hopefully you enjoyed the reaction as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Jonathan, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the support. I really appreciate that. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.